Julie Kaufman, and I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm very passionate about making Milwaukee a better place. I really like reading Urban Milwaukee because it fills a different niche in the space of media. So I often look to Urban Milwaukee to be telling me something I wouldn't find somewhere else. A lot of the work I do relates to being a change agent and creating some sort of innovation in the urban landscape. So a lot of my work requires that we think about things differently, and Urban Milwaukee is one of the few places where there can be dialogue about that sort of different look at things. Reader comments on Urban Milwaukee are actually incredibly informative and often really a place where important debate and discussion can take place. And that's in stark contrast to many other media outlets where you just find a lot of snarky negativity and backlashing. Because the content of Urban Milwaukee really elevates your thinking and forces you to dive deeper on topics, the discussion tends to do that as well. A few years ago, I was working to advocate for some changes in the Walker's Point neighborhood, and we were specifically looking at how to redevelop a corridor in a way that was really more complete, that thought about the street as more than just a way to move cars, but as a way to create community. And what Urban Milwaukee was able to do was do a story about a street that changed the narrative.
It started to engage politicians. You can see here that it caught the attention of Bob Bauman. It's just such an extensive dialogue. Look at that, it keeps going, seriously.
So somebody I never met made a visual for 2nd Street that said this is what it could look like if it was really not just for cars, if it was for people and bikes and trees.
Kieran Sweeney, who I never met, and I talked offline and said, hey, can you help me create a visual? Here's what Walker's Point looks like right now. And then with Kieran's help, we created this visual.
Urban Milwaukee was really instrumental, frankly, in helping change the way Walker's Point developed. And it wasn't because they were an advocate, it was because they told the facts and allowed people to dialogue about those. And the interesting thing about that story is, by commenting on this topic with other readers who I have never met, we were able to pull together a vision for 2nd Street. We submitted that to a national competition, we won, and as a result of that, got more traditional media to pay attention to the story and ultimately changed the way 2nd Street was redeveloped. Without Urban Milwaukee, I don't think that story would have gotten much elevation and really built awareness in a way that helped make that difference. They were simply the media doing what they should do, which is sharing facts, diving deeper, allowing conversation, asking the right questions so that people could come to their own informed decision and engage as citizens to create some change that turned out to be amazing for Milwaukee. Having an engaged, locally owned source for media matters. I am a passionate believer in investing in the things that make Milwaukee great, and Urban Milwaukee is really a foundational piece of the things that make Milwaukee great. And if we want those things, we have to care about them and we have to invest in them. I'm gonna give to Urban Milwaukee, and y'all should too.